There comes a time when you must stand face to face with the voice inside your head that says, "You're not good enough," and say, "No more." You must rise up from the ashes of your own doubts, your own fears, and your own past mistakes and declare, with all of heaven listening, that negative thinking will no longer rule your life. Don't you dare underestimate the power of a thought. A single thought can keep you bound. A single thought can hold you back. But praise be to God, a single decision, a holy decision, to reject that thought can set you free. Negative thinking is not from above. It is not truth. It is not power. It is a thief, and it comes only to steal your joy, kill your faith, and destroy your future. And if you let it stay, it will plant roots. It will wrap itself around your purpose until all you see is darkness. But today, you make war. Today you tear down every lie, every whisper of failure, every memory that haunts you. You are not what they said. You are not what you did. You are not your weakness. You are a child of destiny, called for something greater than you can imagine. Do you feel that? That stirring deep inside your spirit? That is truth waking up. That is light breaking through the cracks. You've carried the weight of that negativity too long, and it's time to drop it, kill it. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, right now. You don't need a sign, you don't need a crowd, you just need a moment of boldness, and you have it now. Speak life where there was death, speak courage where there was fear, speak victory where there was defeat. You have been given power over your mind. Take it back. You are not going under, you are rising up. Kill that negative thinking and walk in the freedom that's already yours. There is a battle that wages every day, every hour, and sometimes every minute inside your mind. It is the battle between truth and deception, between hope and despair, between light and darkness. And the most dangerous enemy in this battle is the subtle, quiet lie that creeps in disguised as a thought. This lie speaks in whispers, "Font you are not enough. One you will never succeed. Sont you are a failure, or you are unworthy of love." But hear me now, these are not truths. They are lies dressed up to look real, but their power only exists because you give it to them. Your mind is a sacred place, and it has been entrusted to you. It is the gateway to your soul, the soil where seeds of destiny are planted. Yet, if you let negative thoughts take root, they will choke out the promise and potential God has placed within you. These lies are designed to keep you stuck, to hold you captive in a prison of fear and doubt. But you have the power to reject them, to refuse to agree with those thoughts no matter how loud or convincing they seem. The very first step is to recognize that a thought is a thought, not a prophecy, not a fact, not a decree from the heavens. Just because you think something does not make it true. The enemy's strategy is to make the lie feel like the truth so you will accept it without question. But you are not a passive victim to your thoughts. You are an active warrior with authority to say, "No, this is not true about me." To reject the lie is to cut its power off at the source. When a negative thought comes, pause. Take a moment to examine it carefully. Where did it come from? Is it based on fact, or is it an opinion rooted in fear? Often these lies are echoes of past failures, harsh words spoken by others, or the shame that tries to define you. But you are not what others say or what you have done before. You are much more than that. To reject the lie is to see it for what it is, a shadow trying to steal your light, and choose not to let it influence your heart or your decisions. This is not always easy. Lies can be persistent. They can cling to you like a heavy cloak on a cold night. But remember, every time you refuse to accept the lie, you weaken its grip. Every time you push back with truth, you build strength. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you practice rejecting those negative thoughts, the stronger your mind becomes. You begin to recognize the difference between what is real and what is deception. The truth about you is far greater than the lie you fight. There is a well of worthiness deep inside that no lie can drain. You are created with purpose, designed for greatness, and loved beyond measure. You are not defined by your mistakes, your weaknesses, or the voices that try to tear you down. Refusing to agree with lies means you affirm these truths, even when your feelings try to say otherwise. One practical way to reject the lie is to replace it with a counter-statement of truth. For every "and I can't," speak "and I can." For every "I'm not good enough," declare "and I am worthy." This may sound simple, but there is power in speaking life over yourself. It rewires your brain, it renews your spirit, and it aligns you with the reality of who you really are. When you choose to reject the lie by speaking truth, you invite freedom and hope into your heart. Sometimes the lie will try to return, but now you will be ready. You will have the armor of awareness and the sword of truth to combat it. You won't be caught off guard. You won't be helpless. You will stand firm, refuse to agree, and walk away stronger than before. Rejecting the lie is a declaration of victory over negativity. It is a commitment to honor yourself and your potential. It is a way of saying, "I refuse to live bound by fear, doubt, or shame." You have been given authority over your mind, and with that authority comes responsibility, to guard it fiercely and to cultivate thoughts that uplift and empower. So when that voice tries to speak its lie, meet it with boldness. Look it square in the face and say, "That is not who I am." Refuse to agree, refuse to believe, refuse to let it take hold, because inside you is a truth that no lie can ever erase. Our minds are powerful places, and the words we speak, whether out loud or quietly to ourselves, hold incredible weight. When negative thoughts come, as they inevitably will, it's not enough simply to reject them. We must go further. We must replace them. We must speak life over ourselves. For what we say to ourselves shapes our reality, molds our spirit, and directs our destiny. There is a saying that the tongue has the power of life and death. And it's true. The words you allow yourself to speak can either build you up or tear you down. When negative thinking floods your mind with doubt, fear, and defeat, the natural response is to echo those thoughts in your heart and your words. But this is a dangerous cycle. It is a trap that keeps you locked in a prison of despair. So how do we break free? By choosing to speak life instead. To speak life means to intentionally fill your mind and mouth with words that bring hope, encouragement, and truth. It means to become the voice of your own healing and victory. When a negative thought comes, don't just push it away. Replace it with a life-giving word. Say aloud, "I am strong, I am capable, I am loved, I will overcome." These words are not empty promises. They are declarations that unlock the power inside you. One of the most powerful sources of life-giving words is Scripture. The Bible is full of promises and truths that speak directly to the human heart. When your mind is attacked with thoughts like, "And I am weak," or "he will never succeed," respond with Scripture like, "And I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Philippians 4:13, or, "And God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind." 2 Timothy 1:7. Speaking Scripture aloud is a form of spiritual warfare. It is standing on the firm foundation of God's Word and declaring it over your circumstances. It renews your mind and transforms your thinking. It replaces lies with truth. This is not just about repeating words, but about believing and internalizing them so deeply that they become the lens through which you see yourself and your future. But you don't need to limit yourself to Scripture only. Speak life in every way you can. Encourage yourself. Affirm your worth. Declare your purpose. When you say, "I am more than a conqueror," or "Today is filled with new hope," your spirit rises and your mind begins to align with that truth. It's important to do this consistently. Negative thoughts come like waves, but the tide of life-giving words can push those waves back. Make it a habit to speak life to yourself daily. Fill your mornings with affirmations, fill your day with hope-filled declarations, and fill your nights with gratitude and promises of victory. Also, remember that speaking life isn't about ignoring reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about refusing to let negativity be the final word. It's choosing to focus on what is good, what is true, and what is possible. It's about planting seeds of faith that will grow into mighty trees of confidence and peace. And when you speak life, you don't just change your mind, you change your atmosphere. Your words affect those around you too. The hope and peace you declare will ripple out and inspire others to believe in their own strength and worth. So next time a negative thought comes, don't just silence it, overpower it. Speak life in the face of doubt. Speak hope where there was fear. Speak victory where there was defeat. Let your words be a fountain of living water that refreshes your soul and ignites your spirit. You have the power to create your own reality with the words you choose to speak. Choose life, choose hope, choose truth, speak life, and watch how your world begins to change. Your mind is a sacred garden, a place where your thoughts grow and take root. But like any garden, it requires protection and careful tending. You must become a vigilant guardian, standing watch at the gates of your mind, deciding what is allowed to enter and what must be turned away. For what you allow in will shape the fruit your life bears, whether it is joy, peace, and strength, or fear, doubt, and despair. Too often we leave the gates wide open, inviting anything and everything to flood our minds without discernment. The media bombards us with images and stories that feed anxiety, comparison, and negativity. Conversations can be filled with gossip, criticism, or hopelessness. Memories, especially those tied to pain or regret, can trap us in the past and keep us from moving forward. If we are not careful, these influences overwhelm us, planting weeds of negativity that choke out the good seed of God's truth. But you don't have to be a passive receiver. You are the gatekeeper. You have the authority and the responsibility to guard your mind fiercely. What does this look like? It means choosing carefully what you watch, listen to, and speak with others about. It means recognizing that not every conversation is meant for your ears and not every story is meant for your heart. When you guard the gates, you start by taking inventory. What fills your mind each day? Is it encouraging and uplifting, or is it draining and discouraging? Are you feeding your spirit with words of faith, hope, and love, or are you consuming fear, doubt, and negativity? What you dwell on is what grows stronger. Guarding the gates also means protecting yourself from toxic influences. This could be a social media feed that constantly compares you to others and makes you feel less. It could be relationships that bring criticism instead of encouragement. It could be a habit of replaying painful memories or regrets over and over, allowing them to define your present. These are gates that need to be closed or fortified. Memories are powerful. They can either be a source of strength or a chain that binds you. You cannot erase the past, but you can choose how you respond to it. When a painful memory arises, don't let it storm through your gates unchecked. Instead, take it captive. Acknowledge it, but then replace it with truth. Remind yourself of your worth, your purpose, and the new things God is doing in your life. Don't let the past dictate your future. This guarding is not about fear, but about wisdom and stewardship. It's about valuing the gift of your mind and spirit enough to protect them. The Apostle Paul tells us to take every thought captive to obey Christ. That means not allowing destructive thoughts or influences to remain unchallenged. Be intentional. Fill your mind with things that nurture your soul, uplifting music, inspiring books, wholesome entertainment, and conversations that build faith and courage. Surround yourself with people who speak life and encourage growth. When you do this, you build a fortress around your mind, a place where negativity has little power to penetrate. When negative thoughts or influences do come, and they will, your guarded gates help you respond with strength instead of surrender. You become like a city on a hill, shining brightly despite the darkness around. Your mind becomes a sanctuary of peace and hope, a place where God's promises take root and flourish. Remember, what you allow in determines what you become. Guard your mind as a precious treasure, for it holds the key to your happiness, your faith, and your future. The gates are yours to control. Choose wisely what you let enter, and you will see your life transform from the inside out. There is a heavy burden that many carry, one that drags them down, steals their joy, and robs them of peace. It is the burden of guilt and shame. These feelings come from looking back at mistakes, failures, or moments we wish we could erase. But hear me clearly today. Holding on to guilt and shame is like holding on to a poison, hoping it will hurt someone else, but it only hurts you. It feeds negativity, it darkens your mind, and it keeps you trapped in a cycle of defeat. The freedom you seek begins the moment you choose to forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself is not always easy. Sometimes it feels like the hardest person to forgive is the one in the mirror. You replay past errors over and over, beating yourself up for choices made, words said, or opportunities missed. But forgiveness is a divine act of grace, a gift you give yourself so you can move forward with hope and healing. You were never meant to carry the weight of the past forever. The past is behind you, and your future is waiting with open arms. Guilt and shame are like chains that bind you tightly, making you believe you are unworthy of love, happiness, or success. But these feelings are lies. They whisper that you are defined by your failures, that you are less than whole, and that you must suffer because of what happened. But the truth is this: your mistakes do not define you. They are part of your story, yes, but not the whole story. There is always the next chapter, waiting for you to write it with courage and hope. To forgive yourself means to release those chains. It means to look at your past with honesty and compassion. It means acknowledging what happened, taking responsibility where needed, but then choosing to let go of the harsh judgment and the endless replay of "set if only." You cannot change what is done, but you can change how you respond. You can choose freedom over bondage, grace over guilt. Forgiveness is not about forgetting or excusing mistakes. It is about accepting that you are human, that you are learning, and that you are growing. It is about recognizing that everyone falls, but not everyone stays down. When you forgive yourself, you stand up with new strength, new wisdom, and new hope. You open the door to healing that can refresh your mind and renew your spirit. The process of forgiving yourself may involve deep reflection and prayer. You might need to talk through your feelings, write down your pain, or seek support from trusted friends or mentors. But the key is to be gentle with yourself. Speak kindly to your own heart as you would to a dear friend who is hurting. Remind yourself that grace is greater than guilt and that love is stronger than shame. There is power in confession, not just to others but to yourself and to God. Bringing your failures into the light can dissolve their power. When you stop hiding in the shadows of guilt, you make room for healing. Forgiving yourself means you accept God's forgiveness, God's love, and God's promise that you are made new every day. Remember, guilt and shame feed negativity by keeping your mind trapped in a loop of self-condemnation. This loop blocks your ability to see your own worth and potential. But forgiveness breaks that cycle. It frees your mind to think positive thoughts, to dream new dreams, and to embrace the abundant life meant for you. Forgiveness restores your ability to love yourself and to love others without the heavy baggage of the past weighing you down. As you practice forgiving yourself, watch how your heart softens. Watch how the light begins to return to your eyes. Watch how peace replaces anxiety and hope replaces despair. This is the miracle of forgiveness. It doesn't just change your past, it transforms your present and your future. And as you forgive yourself, you become an example to others. You show the world that it is possible to rise above failure and pain. You demonstrate the power of grace and the strength of a renewed mind. Your story of forgiveness becomes a beacon of hope for anyone who feels trapped by their own mistakes. So today, make a decision to forgive yourself. Say it out loud if you need to: forgive myself. Let those words wash over you like a healing balm. Release the guilt, release the shame. Choose to walk forward with a heart free from the weight of the past. You were never meant to carry it alone. You are worthy of forgiveness. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of a life filled with joy, hope, and purpose. When you forgive yourself, you break the chains of negativity and open the door to all the good things waiting for you. Believe in the power of forgiveness. It is the key that unlocks your freedom. Walking by faith means stepping forward even when you cannot see the entire path. It means moving ahead with courage, trusting in something greater than your doubts, fears, and uncertainties. Faith is not just a feeling, it is a choice, a way of living that defies what your eyes or emotions might tell you. It is the quiet strength that whispers, "Keep going," even when every part of you wants to stop. Many times, fear tries to take control. Fear says, "What if you fail? What if you are rejected? What if things don't work out?" Fear whispers lies that paralyze your spirit and keep you stuck in hesitation. But walking by faith is the act of courage that says, "I will not let fear dictate my steps. I will trust in the unseen power that guides me." Faith is powerful because it moves beyond what is visible. It is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. This means that even when your circumstances look bleak, Even when you don't have all the answers, faith allows you to stand firm. It fuels your perseverance and lights your way in the darkest times. Sometimes walking by faith means doing what feels uncomfortable or uncertain. It means choosing action when the feelings aren't there, when your heart is heavy or your mind is full of doubt. You might not feel strong or confident, but faith asks you to act anyway. It is in those moments when you step forward despite your fears that your faith grows strongest. Your actions reflect your faith far more than your words. People see what you do, and your consistent choice to walk by faith becomes a powerful testimony. It shows the world that your hope is real and that your trust is not just talk but a lifestyle. Faith-filled actions inspire others and build a foundation for blessings to come. Walking by faith also means embracing the unknown. It means releasing the need to control every outcome and surrendering to a greater plan. This surrender does not mean giving up. It means trusting that even when you cannot see the full picture, every step is leading you exactly where you need to be. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to move in spite of fear. It is saying, "And I will take the next step, even if I can't see the whole staircase." Every great journey begins with a single step of faith, and sometimes that step is the hardest part. Remember, you are not walking alone. There is a source of strength, wisdom, and love that supports you. When fear creeps in, call on that power. Pray, meditate, or simply remind yourself that you are held and guided. Let that truth fill your heart and drive your actions. Walking by faith also means being patient. Faith trusts in timing that is beyond our own understanding. It waits when answers don't come quickly and remains hopeful when situations feel stalled. Patience is a fruit of faith, and it allows you to remain steady rather than frantic or discouraged. Your journey will have moments of doubt and difficulty. That is natural, but keep choosing faith every day. Even on the days when you don't feel like it, when your spirit is weary and your confidence is low, walk by faith anyway. Your future self will thank you for the courage you showed in the present moment. When you consistently walk by faith, you cultivate resilience. You build a life that is anchored in hope, not shaken by every challenge. You open the door to unexpected opportunities and miracles because faith positions you to receive what fear would have kept you from. So stand tall, step forward. Let your actions be a bold declaration that faith is stronger than fear. Even when the path is unclear, let faith be your guide. Your faith-filled walk is the key to unlocking a life filled with peace, purpose, and power. Walk by faith and watch how your life begins to change in ways you never imagined. Your mind is the battlefield where every day's victory or defeat is often decided. It is the source from which your feelings, choices, and ultimately your life flow. To kill negative thinking, to rise above doubt and despair, you must renew your mind daily. This is not a one-time event, but a continuous intentional process, a daily habit that shapes who you are and who you will become. Renewing your mind means choosing what you think about. It means being deliberate in what you allow to settle and grow in your thoughts. Every day, your mind is bombarded with countless messages, some uplifting, some harmful. If you do not guard your thoughts and deliberately fill your mind with what is good, pure, and powerful, negativity will find its way in and take root. What does it mean to think on what is good, pure, and powerful? It means focusing on things that uplift your spirit and strengthen your soul. Good thoughts are those that bring kindness, love, and encouragement. Pure thoughts are free from selfishness, envy, and malice. They are thoughts of integrity, honesty, and peace. Powerful thoughts remind you of your strength, your potential, and the truth that you are capable of overcoming challenges. This daily renewal starts with awareness. Pay attention to what occupies your mind. Are you dwelling on worries, regrets, or fears, or are you intentionally turning your focus toward hope, gratitude, and faith? Awareness is the first step toward change. When you notice negative thoughts creeping in, you can choose to replace them with positive, uplifting ones. One way to renew your mind is through daily reflection and meditation on positive truths. This might mean reading inspirational passages, memorizing affirmations, or simply spending quiet moments recalling the blessings in your life. When you fill your mind with good and pure things, you begin to see yourself and your circumstances in a new light. gratitude plays a powerful role in renewing your mind. When you cultivate a habit of thankfulness, your thoughts naturally shift away from what is lacking or painful toward what is abundant and joyful. Gratitude transforms your perspective and opens your heart to hope and peace. Another key to renewing your mind daily is surrounding yourself with positive influences. This includes the people you spend time with, the books you read, the music you listen to, and the media you consume. Each of these elements can either build you up or tear you down. Choose carefully what you allow to feed your mind. Renewal also means rejecting the lies and negativity that try to take hold. Negative thoughts often come disguised as truths, whispers that you are not good enough, not strong enough, or not worthy. But these are deceptions. Renewing your mind means consciously rejecting those lies and affirming the truth about who you are, a person of value, strength, and purpose. This process requires consistency. Just as you wash your body daily to stay clean, you must wash your mind daily to keep it pure and healthy. Neglect allows negativity to settle and grow, but intentional renewal keeps your mind clear and strong. When you renew your mind daily, you cultivate peace amidst chaos. You build resilience to face challenges without succumbing to despair. Your thoughts become a source of power instead of a pit of despair. Remember, the mind influences the heart, the will, and the actions. When your mind is renewed with good, pure, and powerful thoughts, your emotions align with hope and courage. Your decisions reflect faith and wisdom. Your actions become purposeful and life-giving. So begin today. Commit to renewing your mind every morning and every night. Start your day by focusing on what is good, things that inspire kindness and love. In the quiet moments, think on what is pure, thoughts free from negativity and full of integrity. And remind yourself of what is powerful, your strength, your faith, and the boundless possibilities before you. Make this a daily practice and you will notice a transformation. Negative thinking will lose its grip. Your spirit will rise. Your life will change step by step as your renewed mind leads you to peace, joy, and victory. Your mind is a precious garden. Choose carefully what you plant there. Water it with good, pure, and powerful thoughts daily, and watch your life bloom in ways you never imagined. There is a profound truth that negative thinking cannot withstand. It simply cannot survive in the presence of divine truth. When you immerse yourself in the presence of something greater than yourself, negativity loses its power. It shrinks, it fades, it dies. This is not just an idea. It is a living reality you can experience when you choose to stay close to that presence every day. What does it mean to stay in the presence? It means to live with an awareness of the divine truth that surrounds you, truth that is constant, unchanging, and full of light. It means keeping your heart and mind open to a source of love, peace, and wisdom that transcends all circumstances. This presence is a refuge when storms arise and a shelter in moments of doubt. To stay in the presence is to dwell in a place where negative thoughts have no foothold. Negative thinking often grows in the shadows of isolation, fear, and confusion. It creeps in when you feel alone, overwhelmed, or disconnected. But the presence of divine truth is like sunlight flooding into a dark room. It exposes the lies, dispels the shadows, and brings clarity. When you stay close to this presence, you are surrounded by a light so powerful that negativity cannot survive. Staying in the presence is an intentional choice. It means setting aside time each day to connect deeply with that divine reality. This connection can take many forms: prayer, meditation, worship, reading sacred words, or simply quiet reflection. The key is to be intentional about making space for this presence in your daily life, no matter how busy or chaotic your day may be. When you cultivate this habit, you begin to notice a shift. Your thoughts start to align with truth rather than fear. Your heart is filled with peace instead of anxiety. Your spirit is strengthened against discouragement and despair. Negative thinking, which once felt so overwhelming, begins to lose its grip because you are anchored in something far greater. The presence of divine truth also reminds you of who you are at your core, worthy, loved, and powerful beyond measure. It counters every negative message that tries to define you by your failures, weaknesses, or limitations. When you stay close to this presence, you are reminded that your identity is rooted in love and purpose, not in fear or doubt. This presence is not distant or unreachable. It is near, closer than your breath, more intimate than your heartbeat. It is available to you at every moment, inviting you to lean in and find refuge. The more you choose to dwell in this presence, the more your mind and heart are renewed. Negative thoughts do not stand a chance when confronted with the overwhelming power of truth and love. Staying in the presence also means practicing surrender. It means letting go of the need to control every outcome and trusting that you are held in a greater plan. This surrender is freeing. It lifts the heavy burden of worry and opens the door to peace. When you release control and rest in presence, negative thinking loses its fuel. Remember, negativity thrives on distraction and doubt. The presence of divine truth calls you to focus and faith. It invites you to listen, to be still, and to receive. In this sacred space, your soul finds healing and your mind finds clarity. Make it a daily practice to seek the presence. Begin your day by anchoring yourself in truth. Throughout your day, return to this place whenever negativity tries to rise. End your day wrapped in the peace that presence provides. Over time, you will discover that staying in the presence is not just a practice, it becomes your way of life. Negative thinking dies in the presence because truth shines brighter than fear, love is stronger than doubt, and light overwhelms darkness. Choose to stay close to this presence and watch how your mind is freed, your heart is healed, and your life is transformed. You are never alone. The presence is always with you, waiting, welcoming, and ready to renew your mind and spirit. Step into it daily and experience the freedom that only truth can bring. So today, choose to break free from the chains of negative thinking. Choose to renew your mind daily with what is good, pure, and powerful. Choose to walk boldly by faith, even when the path is unclear. And above all, choose to stay close to the presence of truth, for it is in that presence that every doubt fades, every fear is overcome, and every negative thought is destroyed. Remember, your mind is the gatekeeper of your destiny. What you feed it, it will grow. So feed it with hope, strength, and divine truth. Let negativity fall away like shadows at dawn. Stand firm in faith, embrace the renewal of your mind, and dwell continually in the light of presence. Your breakthrough is waiting. Your victory is at hand. Step into your power today and watch how your life transforms from the inside out. You are more than conquerors. You are destined for greatness. And it all begins when you kill the negative thinking and embrace the truth that sets you free. Go forward now, filled with peace, hope, and unstoppable faith.